Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And we're down at DRUMBEG. And DRUMBEG is in Lisburn, in the greater Lisburn area. And it's not far from Belfast City. And where we are actually is we're on DRUMBEG Bridge, as you can see. And you can see the river here, the Lagan, which is absolutely beautiful. And up on the hill there in the distance, and I'll try and give you a better view of that, as you can see, and that's Drum House. And that house there probably dates from, I think it's the 19th century if I remember rightly, but the original house was, it's reckoned that it was probably the late 17th century. So that's Drum House, and hopefully we'll do a wee video up there shortly. But as you can see from the sign here, it says Drum Bridge, and it's the River Lagan. This area here was actually the crossing point for the Williamites on their way to the Boyne. And then after they had crossed the Lagan here, they made their way on up by the church, on up by the Old Inn, if you remember rightly, which I done a wee video on, and that was, it's now Bob Stuart's, but of course that Old Inn used to be called the Bell Inn, and it was established in 1620. And so if you remember, I done a wee video on that, and so you can check that out. And of course, as I say, it's now known as Bob Stuart's. But the Williamite forces actually crossed here on their way to the Boyne. And there you can see Drum House Nurseries, and that's open, as you can see, to the public. And so I hope to take a wee drive up there after I get this wee video done. But we're outside DRUMBEG Church, the parish church of St Patrick, Church of Ireland. And there you can get a good view there too from the house. And as you can see, it says there, Drum House. And you can get a good view there off the house. And as I say, I hope to do a wee video up there shortly. But this is the church, DRUMBEG Parish Church. And that's what you call the Lich Gate. And if you remember, I've done a wee video on the Lich Gate, so I'm not going to say too much about that, because you can check out my other video on that. And of course, coffins were kept here, and sometimes they were kept overnight as well here at Lich Gates. And so you can check that out on my other wee video that I done when I was here. Now, if you're coming here, when you go through the gates up to the left, and you would miss it if you didn't know it was here, but that's actually a wee billboard there giving you a bit of the history. So it's right beside that tree there, so if you didn't know that was there, you actually wouldn't see it. So as soon as you come through the gate, it's on your left hand side, just down at the bottom from the church. And this is a lovely wee walkway here, the wee arches with the trees growing into each other, which I think is beautiful. And of course, just across the road then you have the car park for the regional park walk along the Lagan. And just up at the top there is actually Lady Dixon's Park, Sir Thomas and Lady Dixon's Park. And so it's a lovely wee area to visit and also to explore. But DRUMBEG Parish Church, there's actually been a church here since medieval times, and there was also a Protestant place of worship that was established here on this site around 1622. And of course, this church is the Church of Ireland today, although it's not the original building as far as I remember. But it certainly is an impressive building, there's no doubt about it. I'm not too sure how far back that building goes, to be honest. But certainly there was a Protestant place of worship here that was established in 1622. And as you can see, it's It's an amazing building. Unfortunately, there's no date stone on it. It's good when you get a wee date stone, but I don't see any. There is an inscription up there, but I certainly can't read it because I can't see it. However, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at two more graves, and one is of a captain who was killed during the 1641 rebellion, and another one is the United Irishman who took part in the 1798 rebellion, but he wasn't killed during that period. He actually lived to be over 100. And so these graves here are fantastic, as you can see. And so if you're looking at these graves, when you come up through the trees, just keep going, and they're at the side of the church here. You can't miss them. And so, for instance, it says, "Here left the body of Anna Wilson, daughter to John Wilson, Lord of Crocklane," I think that is. Wife to John Stuart of Ballydrain, I think that is, who departed this life the 25th of December 1689, aged 63 years. So there's a grave from 1689. And then it says, "Here also is laid the body of John Stuart," and that's above mentioned, who died, I think that's November, and it's 1691, and he was 70, if you can see that. So that's a brave age of a grave. And there's another one here, and it says, "Here left the body of Thomas Martin, and he was a merchant in Belfast, who departed this life the 29th of October. And that Anno Domini, that means in the year of our Lord 1685, it's Latin. And he was aged 42 years. And then it also says the body of Flora née Stuart, his wife, and daughter of John Stuart of Ballydrain, who departed this life the 27th of April, again in the year of our Lord 1683. And then there's more there as well. So that's fantastic. But it's this grave here that I want to draw your attention to. And this grave here is actually of Captain William Stuart. And we read here, "Here left the body of Anna Wilson, daughter of the Lord of Crogline," I think that is, or Croglino, or Crogline, not sure. "Wife to John Stuart of Ballydrain, who departed this life December 25th, 1682, aged," I can't make the age out there, but anyway, it says, "Here also left the body of John Stuart, who departed this life November," and that's, I think that's 1691, in his 70th years. And it's this man here that I want to draw attention to. It says, "His father, Captain William Stuart, son of Lord Corley's," I think that is, "was killed at Kilcullen Bridge. He and his escort cut into pieces by a part of Roman Catholics," and I can't make that other part out. Oh, in 1641. So that was during the 1641 rebellion, and I assume that's the Kilcullen Bridge then that is down south, because I don't know of any other Kilcullen Bridge. And so that's amazing, isn't it, that this captain was actually killed, and his escort as well were actually killed in 1641. And of course the Kilcullen Bridge was destroyed in 1641. There's another bridge, a new bridge there now, but the original bridge there was destroyed, or at least one of the original bridges. And so this here grave here goes back to 1641. and it's a captain who was killed during the 1641 rebellion, which is a fantastic piece of history that they have here in this graveyard. Now, there's another man, as I say, and his name is William Goldie, and he died at the age of 104 years of age, and he died in 1883, and he was recorded as being the last of the survivors of the rebel insurgents of Antrim and Down, and he was a United Irishman, and he was a veteran of the Battle of Ballynahinch, which was fought, of course, on the 12th and 13th of June 1798. And so we're going to have a wee look at his grave, but I'll give you a wee view of the back of the church, as you can see. And so this is a great church with a load of history, lots of history for us to investigate. And so we're just making our way then to William Goldie's grave. And I would also like to thank Donald Kelly and his wee video, because it's through his wee video that I watched that I was able to locate this grave. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been able to locate it. So thank you, Donald, for that. And so this is the grave here, as you can see. And I'll try and read it out, tell you the best I can anyway, because it's hard to make out. In memory of William Goldie, and I think that's United Irish Volunteer of 1798, and I can't make the rest out. It mentions his age there at 104, and so that's the grave of William Goldie. And so you have not only a United Irishman who is buried here, but you also have the grave of a captain who was actually killed during